Welcome to Cancer Lesson 5.3, How Can We Treat Cancer? The goal of this lesson is to explore the factors medical professionals must take into account when choosing what cancer therapy to recommend. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to describe the strengths and weaknesses of surgery, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy as cancer treatments. We will achieve these goals by engaging in a tumor board jigsaw activity in which students determine treatment protocol for a patient. To prepare for this lesson, you'll need to review the following key scientific concepts. Cancer patients often receive combinations of different treatments. Surgery can be used to take out tumors, but often not all the cancer cells can be taken out. Radiation therapy is a minimally invasive way to kill tumors, but the dose must be minimized to avoid mutating more cells. Chemotherapy kills fast-growing cells by interfering with cell replication. It affects the entire body. You can review this scientific content in the background reading provided for you in the teacher primer, the teacher manual, and the student workbook. The teacher primer provides in-depth knowledge about the scientific content presented in this lesson. The teacher manual or lesson plan provides a minute-by-minute explanation of the lesson structure, and the student workbook provides additional explanation for students. Be sure to print the lesson worksheet and the homework worksheet. The key points of the do now are that current cancer treatments often have severe side effects. Most treatments are not specific enough to kill only cancer cells, thus healthy cells are often killed as well. Cancer cells are capable of evolving to become resistant to drugs. We'll get there by reviewing the pros and cons of different cancer therapies. We begin with an analogy to emphasize the seriousness of the side effects that cancer treatments can have. In this lesson, we will focus on three major strategies for treating cancer: surgery, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy. Surgery is used to remove tumors, and while entire tumors can be taken out, there is a likelihood that some cancer cells may remain. Radiation is slightly more complex to understand. The way radiation works is by excessively mutating DNA so that the damaged cancer cells can be killed by apoptosis and/or the immune system. Radiation targets specific parts of the body and is minimally invasive. However, radiation may not always be appropriate on its own. One major factor that doctors consider before recommending radiation is the dose of the radiation. If it is too high, it may create more cancers. Whereas radiation is often used for localized cancer tissue, chemotherapy is the only therapy that can kill metastatic cells at the same time as killing the primary tumor. It works by stopping the pathways that are involved in cell division. Patients often receive multiple chemotherapy drugs at a time in order to avoid drug resistance. However, chemotherapy affects all rapidly dividing cells, leading to many side effects, and some cancers can remain resistant. The activity for the lesson is a tumor board jigsaw activity in which students split up into groups of 3 with one surgeon, one radiologist, and one chemotherapist to develop a treatment plan for a patient or multiple patients. Students will then be given a doctor's treatment plan and evaluate the doctor's treatment plan compared to their own plan. In the wrap-up, students should discuss the relative strengths and weaknesses of each treatment plan and think about what factors can influence the treatment plans. For homework, have students watch the 60 Minutes episode on using viruses to target brain cancer, or read Malcolm Gladwell's article from The New Yorker on immunotherapies. The link to the 60 Minutes video can be found in the teacher manual. One of the most common questions students ask is how do radiation and chemotherapy target rapidly dividing cells? Chemotherapy drugs usually block processes involved in cell division. Cells that divide more rapidly are more vulnerable to these drugs. Radiation targets exposed DNA. Cells that divide more rapidly have more exposed DNA. They mutate more rapidly, leading to apoptosis. Another question students ask is, why can't tumors that are metastasizing in the bloodstream be treated by radiation? This is because radiation works when you can target the tumor and avoid healthy tissue from being damaged. At the end of the lesson, collect the lesson worksheets to assess students' ability to describe the 3 main mechanisms of treating cancer. In this lesson, we learned about the major ways cancer is treated today. In the next lesson, we will learn about what happens after cancer is treated. Don't forget, if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback, to let us know. You can contact any of the CTSE team members and we'll be happy to help you.